Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with some Kindle Unlimited recommendations. I've seen quite a few people do this video lately, so I'll link anybody who's done it within the past couple weeks down below. I thought this was a great idea because I've been trying to use my Kindle Unlimited more, make it more worth my money. I did do the year-long subscription when they were having a sale where it was super cheap to do it. Just from the start, do a year, so I need to be using this more. I feel like if you read at least 3 books on Kindle Unlimited a month, you are getting your money's worth out of it, and they have so many romances in their catalog, so I have a full list of ones that I've been loving lately. So if you've been watching all my videos recently, you've probably heard of these, but these are ones that within the past 3 or 4 months I've loved that are available on Kindle Unlimited. They're all 4 or 5 stars, so here we go. The first one is Unhinged by Only James. I love myself a dark serial killer romance, and in this one our one hero has been raised to be a good serial killer, so he has this desire in him to kill people, and he was adopted by this doctor who has taken in all these psychopaths basically and harnessed their need to kill bad people. They're satisfying their need to kill for a good reason, I guess, and so the one hero falls for the son of someone he's killed. And it was so freaking good. Definitely recommend reading this, and I'm so excited to read the rest of the series, and they are all available on Kindle Unlimited. You do need to be careful though, because authors do take their books off and put their books on Kindle Unlimited all the time, so as of right now I checked all of them, but it could change in the future, so just know that they are not for sure forever going to be on Kindle Unlimited. It's up to the individual author. The next one is The Lady of Rooksgrave Manor by Catherine Moon. This is just a reverse harem monster romance that I did not know I needed in my life. I absolutely love this. Our heroine, she gets taken to this manor to work and has relationships with quite a few monsters, and I just love how obsessed they were with her. There's a vampire, there's a stone man thing, there's a gargoyle, there's a sphinx, there's an invisible man, and I loved how unique and fun the heroes were, and I loved just how smitten they were with her, and they all just wanted the best for her and would work together to give her their best. It was so good. If you haven't read it yet, you need to go pick this up. Then I didn't realize this was on Kindle Unlimited. I read the audiobook through my library, but Don't Kiss the Bride by Carrie Ann Cole. This one is one of my favorites. It is an age gap. She has problems with eating, so please know that eating is an issue in this book, and she really needs medical help, and she doesn't have insurance, so she does not have a good home situation, and so our hero offers to marry her so that she can be on his insurance, and he is older. He's in his 30s and she is 18, I believe, and they fall for each other, but it's definitely friends to lovers, very slow burn, such a good romance, all the tropes that I love, so definitely please read this one. Then I have Kidnapped by a Pirate. This one is an pirate romance. I love pirate romances so much, and the one hero is a pirate captain, and the other one is the son of this really corrupt governor, I believe, who's starting his own town on this island, and so our hero was on his way there. He's supposed to marry someone even though he doesn't want to because he knows that he's gay, and so his ship is taken and he is kidnapped. His sister, who's pregnant, they let her leave and keep him, and the pirate detests his father, the other hero's father, because he turned on him because he used to be a legal privateer, and then things happened and now he's just an illegal pirate, and it was so good. I love the tension between them and the dynamics between them, and I love a captor-captive romance. I love a pirate romance, and definitely lots of action. The first half is all just on ship, basically in his private quarters, but once they get out and all the action starts happening, this is such a good historical romance, and I love Kira Andrews so much, so check out more of her books as well. Another one of my favorites is a forbidden romance, is Waking Olivia by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I'm so excited to read more by this author. This one I read in January, fell in love. Our heroine runs, and she is on the cross-country team at her college. She gets kicked off, so she is accepted into this other college to run for their team, but they're D3, so she is way elite for their program, but she decides to compete anyways. But she has some problems because she does have trauma, and she sleep runs, and so she'll sometimes show up to practice exhausted, and the coach is fed up with her. She's got an attitude. The coach is only 5 years older, maybe not even that. He is pretty close to her age, but they butt heads a lot. But they start falling for each other, and he really helps her through what she's going through, and I just love it so much. It's only forbidden because it's the coach-athlete dynamic. They're really close in age, and they're both in their 20s, but this book is so good, and I love the hero's dilemma over wanting her, but not wanting her, and being annoyed by her, and it's just So good. And as a runner myself, like, I just loved everything about this book. Then I just wanted to recommend the Vegas Nights novella series by Christina C. Jones. There's just something for everyone in the series. The first one is A Marriage in Trouble, and I personally love marriage in trouble romances, but he basically like kidnaps her and takes her on this yacht and is like, we need to talk. So it's a lot of fun. I really like Marriage of Convenience. We also have the second book, which is Wake Up in Vegas Married, Friends to Lovers, and then the third book is just we are super attracted to each other and we met through work and we want to be with each other. So these are a lot of fun. I definitely recommend picking them up if you want a series full of different tropes that are novellas that you can fly through. Then Gianna Darling is on Kindle Unlimited and I love her so much, but I'd recommend starting with her Antiheroes and Love duet. This one is a mafia romance with a grumpy heroine and a sunshine hero, and she's a lawyer. He is in the mafia and he is put on trial for something and she is one of his lawyers, and he has to be put on house arrest, and he requires that she stays at his house so that he will have like all 24-hour access to his case. And they fall for each other, and there's so much action in here as well, and it's Gianna Darling, so I am obsessed with this duet. I really love it, and I think it'd be a great point to start with her. Another favorite is QB Tyler. All of her books are on Kindle Unlimited, and I would recommend reading Love Unexpected, which is her stepfather romance, which is very taboo, but our heroine was like madly in love with her elementary school teacher when I think it was like 5th grade, and he marries her mom, and so she never sees him as a stepdad. She just sees him as a man in her life. Like, he is not a father figure towards her. She's always had this tiny crush in the back of her head, but she is pretty rebellious and they fight a lot, and her mom dies. And so there's no cheating in here, no feelings towards her until after the mom dies, and they grieve together and fall for each other, and it's just so good. QB Tyler's the queen of taboo, I'm telling ya. She just has really great books. I love her. Another one I love is Sophie Lark. All of her books are on Kindle Unlimited, and I would recommend starting with Brutal Prince. This one is a mafia romance in the Brutal Birthright series, and it is a hate to love marriage of convenience from rival mafia families. They literally want to kill each other, and they meet at a party where she accidentally almost burns their house down. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of animosity between them, but they slowly start falling for each other. The second book is Being Kidnapped, Beauty and the Beast retelling, and they're just so good, and I recommend reading this series in order, so definitely start with book 1. Another new favorite is Mafia Mistress by Mila Finelli, I believe is the author's name, and this one is a betrothed father's romance. I love this so much. So our heroine is the daughter of a mafia boss, and she doesn't want part of the mafia life. She wants to go to college, she wants to have her own career and marry for love, but then her father gets in some trouble and decides to marry her off to a mafia family in Italy. So she is pretty much taken against her will by her betrothed's father, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I got to the next chapter's POV, and it was the father, and I was like, ooh, I am liking this a lot more now. And so she becomes friends with the person she's betrothed to and does not want to get married, wants to go back, but she's like, she can't escape, she's forced to stay here, and she becomes a mafia mistress. There's no cheating, like, it is not like the guy's married, his wife died. She's just like considered a mistress because she's not like a girlfriend, she's not a wife, she's just there for his pleasure. And it does end on a cliffhanger, and I cannot wait to read book 2. It is just so good. I really love this one. Then we have Ignite by Melanie Harlow, which is a Grump Sunshine, a firefighter, neighbor romance. He is divorced, he has 2 daughters, and there's a big age gap, and it is like so many good tropes. This was a lot of fun. He definitely wants to be the best father for his daughters, and so that's why he moves into this condo, and the daughters are hilarious. There's like laugh out loud moments in here. Melanie Harlow's books are just so fun and just very lighthearted and contemporary romances, but I really love the age gap in here. I love that he was a firefighter, and the daughters were the best. Sometimes authors can't do children well, but this author did. It was so good, so cute. I really love this one. Then we have Business Casual by Danielle Allen. This book, you guys, was amazing. So our heroine is being hired as a freelancer. She's like a social media marketer, and she's being hired by this bank, and she's going to an interview, and in the lobby she meets this guy, and there's like immediate chemistry, and they are like, we need to go on a date. And so they agree to go on a date, and then she goes up to her interview, and lo and behold, the guy from the lobby is one of the owners of the company. And there's a huge no-no at their company because it's happened before and it's ended very badly with like different employees. So she gets hired, and they're like, well, technically you're not my employee until tomorrow. So they have a one-night stand to get it out of their system, but like it's not enough. So this one, such a good forbidden office romance. Highly recommend. Then Kennedy Ryan is someone who sometimes puts her books on KU and takes them off, but the one that's still on there is the All the King's Men duet, which is one of my absolute favorites. We have the Kingmaker and then the Rebel King, and this one is just like, it's never the right time for them to be together. There's lots of adventure and it is just so good. They meet when our heroine, who is half Native American, is protesting a pipeline going on native lands, and our hero's father is responsible for that pipeline. He detests everything his father stands for. They meet at the protest and they both get thrown in jail together. She's a little too young to do anything though. It's not that big of an age gap between them, but it's just like that awkward point where you're a little too young and I'm a little bit too old. So they have to wait, and then they keep on seeing each other throughout their lives, and it's never the right moment. And then he works for like this green company, like eco-friendly, and there's parts in Antarctica which I really loved, and then it's just so good. Like there's everything in here that I love in a romance, and it's just like, it's always been you, we are destined to be together kind of romance. So I'm obsessed, and I'm happy it's still on KU, so definitely pick it up if you have the chance. Then I have All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. I think all of her books are on KU. It's a lot easier than reading her chunky paperback in person, so I like reading hers on my Kindle, and this one is a Grump Sunshine romance, age gap. She is recovering from the end of a very long relationship that was pretty much a marriage, but they never had gotten married, and so she wants to go back to where she's from, where her mother had disappeared, and her mother disappeared hiking, so she's presumed dead, but they don't know for sure, and she rents out this house, like this garage house, and it's connected to Rhodes' house, and he doesn't know, but his son is the one who rented it out. And I love the dynamics between Rhodes and his son and like the reason why he's a father. That was very interesting and unique, and I just really, really love this romance. It is definitely super slow burn, but I really love the characters, and Rhodes is someone who will literally go to the ends of the earth to protect his woman. And I loved it, and it was just such a good Grump Sunshine and an age gap, and I just love this book so much. Then we have The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This one is a really fun, again, Grump Sunshine romance. I have a thing for those, I'm sorry. But this one, they actually work at a place pretty much like Disney, and our heroine works in like the beauty salon with like kids, and she has always these great ideas for making the park better, but she's kind of been burned by someone in her past about that. I don't want to spoil anything, but our hero's grandfather dies, and his grandfather was the one who owned the park. He leaves all of his children or grandkids these tasks for them to get their inheritance or like share in the company or something, and so his is to come up with this great idea to make the park better. So he is going through all the ideas people submit, comes across the one our heroine submits drunkenly on accident, and decides to hire her to be one of his idea people. I don't remember what they're called, and so they have to work together, and they really butt heads, and it's definitely hate to love, and it was really cute. I really enjoy this. It made me want to hop on a plane and go to Disney because I just love the theme park aspect of it, and I'm really excited to read book 2, which is also on Kindle Unlimited, which I have to read. Then we have Thin Ice by Cassie Mint, which I was obsessed with. It is a figure skating coach, athlete romance. And he's Scottish and he's older, and it was amazing. So our heroine is having some issues with her partner, and the hero is the coach, and he feels very protective of her. It's very short, but it's so good. Like the chemistry between them. I love the hero and how much he loved our heroine, and it was just amazing. It was a novella, and it was 5 stars, no question for me. I was obsessed, and I cannot wait to read more from Cassie Mint. Then we have Carnal Urges by J.T. Geisinger. This book, you guys, is going to be one of my top 10 of the year. It was absolutely amazing. I read it from my Mafia romance reading blog. Our heroine is kidnapped because she pretty much started a mafia war in book 1. Had no idea that she did. She was just dating this guy. Didn't even really like him, but everybody like loves her. And I normally don't like heroines like that, but she is so refreshing and just lovable, and I loved her. Like even when she's kidnapped by this guy in the mafia, like everybody else in the mafia that's kidnapped her like really likes her, and she like gets them to love her too, and she's very loyal, and I just really loved her. And she's not freaking out that she's kidnapped. She is a girl who is very level-headed and pulls no punches. She is like, she will give back what she gets, and I just love her so much. And the hero, he head over heels fell for her without meaning to, and is mad that he did, and he wants what's best for her, but then like he wants her back, and the things that he does in here just live in my mind. I love this book so much. Definitely recommend checking out this author. I would recommend reading the books in order because you get Sloane's story in book 1 because she's the best friend of the heroine in book 1, and those people come into the picture as well. So read it in order. I also love the first book in this series, so read them both, but this one, amazing. I also have Little Fire, which is a fantasy romance, and so our heroine is about to be like killed by these like things that are the bad guys, and our hero is an archmage, so he is someone who goes through the realms and like protects people, and so he shows up, sees her about to be taken into a different realm, and so he jumps in and saves her, but they get taken to this other realm, and his people need to find him, so they know they have to wait a few days before his people can like track him down. So it's forced proximity, they're stuck together, they have to survive together, and then things progress from there. I don't want to spoil anything, but our hero falls so hard for our heroine. It was so fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to read more in the series. It was a 4-star read. It was a little slow in the beginning, but definitely really great fantasy that's on Kindle Unlimited, and I definitely want to find more fantasies that are on Kindle Unlimited from indie authors, because I know there's a lot. I just have to find them. And my last one is Reaper by A. Zavarelli. This is book 2. Crow, one of my favorite books of last year. Reaper, such a good romance. Ronan is our hero, and he's very, very damaged. He was taken as a kid and bred to be a fighter, and so he has a lot of trauma and cannot trust and has a really hard time getting close to people, but he works for our hero from book 1, Crow, and he is like their killer, and he kills people, and it's pretty gruesome. And our heroine works at the club that they own, like the mafia owns. Her mom is dying, and so she has a lot that she's dealing with, and she's been used by mafia guys in the past, like not in a good way. Like she has no choice. When they see her, they want her, and she just has to go along with it. And so Ronan is very protective of her, and they have an immediate connection, but he never does anything about it, which really frustrates her, but they grow closer, and it's so good. She does get really frustrated with him because it's really hard to make him communicate with her, but I really loved the vulnerability of their romance, and it was just another amazing mafia romance that I would highly recommend. And those are my recommendations for books on Kindle Unlimited that you should check out. Let me know if you have any other recommendations for me that you think I should check out on Kindle Unlimited, and if you read any of these and what your thoughts were. I would love to hear. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.